first pick.
Alrighty, welcome to another episode of On the Clock, your Just Baseball, College Baseball, and MLB Draft podcast. I'm Jared Perkins. Don't have Tyler Jennings with me today, but we have an awesome guest with us. We got Griffin Hugus out of the University of Miami. Griff, how are you doing today, man?
Great. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, we were excited to have you on. We've been following your season all year long. It's been awesome to see the transition you've made to Miami and kind of the dominance that you've had in the ACC so far. First question we kind of always kick guys off with, just give a little background on yourself, your journey, how you kind of got to where you are today, just for the viewers who don't know you.
I have two brothers who also play baseball. That kind of has informed my journey when it comes to baseball. Older brother who plays college baseball at Presbyterian, and a younger brother who just hung the cleats up. He's a freshman now at University of Florida, just doing school. But I, in high school, was a two-way player, went to Cincinnati as a two-way player, played there for 1 year as a two-way, and last year as just a pitcher. And then this year is my first year at University of Miami, and I'm just a pitcher now and enjoying it. It's a ton of fun and having a good time with the guys this year, especially.
Yeah, I love it. Talk about that relationship with your brothers. How's that kind of pushed you, motivated you, or what is it like having that relationship as you all kind of go on some of a similar journey?
It's definitely easy to find people to compete with because
Yeah.
they're just so competitive. All of us, just everything when it comes to baseball or life is all a competition. It's great just to call them after games, either good or bad, just to kind of talk them through it because they're all watching and just get to talk to them about what they thought about my outings or my games and just see how they thought it stacked up or something they think I should work on or something they thought was good that I might not have noticed. And it's just fun to have that kind of relationship with those guys because it makes just playing baseball so much fun because every game I get to know, I get to talk to them after.
I love it. You talked a little bit about the transferring from Cincinnati to Miami. What has that transfer been like for you? How has the experience at Miami been, and kind of transitioning into the ACC as well?
It's been a absolute dream. I mean, as a kid from South Florida, just being able to play at University of Miami, I never thought it was going to be a possibility. So just now putting on the orange and green every day and going out there is just it's a dream come true. Getting to play with these guys, and it's pretty awesome just to have some success in the ACC. Also, as a team, we have kind of made a huge jump in the last couple weeks, last month, and just seeing that, knowing how good I thought we were in the fall and beginning of the season, and just seeing it translate to the field for us as a team, it's been pretty cool to be a part of that.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that a little more because you all got off to kind of a challenging start, right? But then you rebounded. I think went 12 and with a 12-3 record since early April. You had an 8 game win streak in the ACC as well, and I think you won your last 5 before the kind of the Virginia series. But what clicked for the team? What clicked for you all through that transition?
I think it really just was a testament to the coaching staff being very, very positive the entire time and keeping our heads up and keeping us in the same mind space that we were from the fall and beginning of the year. They kind of preached us that it was all going to work. It was all going to find itself together. And I think at times us as a team might not believe them. And I know there was days I would come back to my apartment and my roommate and be like, man, I wish they would just rip us one time because we keep losing. But they did the right thing. And that's why they're the coaches and I'm the player because they know how to keep us together, keep our culture good. And I think that kind of shows now that we're in a winning stretch here. It shows that the coaching staff knew exactly what they were doing, what kind of team we were.
Yeah, I love that. And you all have a great coaching staff down there with head coach JD Arteaga. Talk about playing for him. What's that been like for you? And how has this coaching staff really helped you kind of unlock some new levels of your game?
It's definitely cool getting to play for a coach who played here,
Mm.
and also Laz, our pitching coach, played here, and it's pretty cool just to see those guys who have so much history with the University of Miami and what they can teach you on top of just baseball wise, just like knowing the area and how baseball down here has grown. It's pretty cool to get to play for a coaching staff like that. And I think also from the pitching side of things, JD was one of the best, if not the best, pitchers in history of Miami baseball. So his insight and his ability to understand just being a starting pitcher has helped me grow as a player. Just understanding what my responsibilities are, how to deal with ups and downs of each start and each week, and just understand as a starting pitcher what is important, what's not important, and what to think about when I'm throwing. And I think that's really helped me grow as a starting pitcher. This is my first year in college being a starting pitcher, so having that kind of influence and that insight is just huge.
I love that. Next question I always kind of ask too, kind of building off of that a little bit. What's the pitch mix like for you?
So it's a fastball slider heavy with a mix of a curve and a changeup also that I think is really huge just to have 4 pitches. I worked really hard this summer to work on all 4 pitches because I knew that if I wanted to start, especially in the ACC with these amazing lineups we face. I need to make sure I can keep them off balance and keep them working. So that's why I attack them with it. Every game it kind of differs based on the strategy of what we're going to throw, but it's those 4 pitches.
I love it. Do you have a favorite pitch you go to?
I love throwing my fastball. I know the
Yeah.
guys on my team know that. I don't even throw as hard as a lot of other guys in college baseball, but it's just so much fun to go out there and attack guys. Like being a former hitter, I know how hard it is to hit. It's almost just like, okay, go ahead. I know it's way harder than pitching, so I might as well just let you try to do it.
Yeah, I can imagine when you do blow that fastball by someone, it probably feels pretty good.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, I love it. You've talked about this a little bit through some of your other answers, but what aspects of your game have you really kind of focused on developing this year, kind of to help you get to that next level?
Definitely building a stronger routine, becoming a pitcher and a starting pitcher. I never really had that kind of routine that I needed, and we worked a lot this fall and this early spring just on building a routine to make sure that I can stay on a good schedule and throw for multiple weeks in a row and be expected to go out there and throw 100 pitches plus every week and kind of had that mentality and build on that. I think on top of that, just like the mental game of pitching and be able to understand the importance, especially when you throw on Friday night, that the importance of saving your bullpen, the importance of stretching out your outing and getting out of big innings and stuff like that is something that I think Coach Laz and Coach JD really instilled in me, and just kind of working on that mostly has been a really fun part of this year, and I think it's one of the biggest things that we've been working on.
No, I love it. For you, have you had a favorite outing this year for yourself?
Uh, Probably FSU just
Mhm.
because it was a rival game and
Yeah.
getting to face up with a guy like Jamie Arnold is always a blast. So getting that opportunity when we got the win, it was just pretty awesome to see the kind of crowd that Mark Light has when, especially when you're playing FSU, how exciting it was. So that was pretty awesome just to get that experience under my belt.
No, I love it. And for you, just kind of for the team in general, what's been kind of the team chemistry for you all? How has that developed? Because I think with the changing of like NIL, transfer portal, all those things, you kind of see a lot of guys in and out of the clubhouse. What did you all do to kind of really help build that team chemistry early on?
I mean, we had, I think, like 31 new guys in our clubhouse
Yeah.
out of the 36. So it's pretty much a testament to the guys who returned, how well they were able just to make us feel welcome, to bring us together as a group. We had guys like Brian Walters and Dorian Gonzalez, our two captains, are just old guys who've been here forever. And their ability just to bring us all together as a team has been pretty amazing. I can't imagine the spot they were in coming in here knowing that the place they've been at for 3, 4 years is brand new with new guys and they not expecting that. So their job just to be true captains and leaders and bring us all together has been pretty awesome. I think that Coach JD tells us like teams that win together are teams that hang out outside the field, and I think we do a really good job of that. That on our days like now where school's over and we're just hanging out every single day after practice, we're all doing something. We're talking about how we're going to watch the Florida hockey game tonight with the Panthers, or if it's just going to eat together just to hang out. I think it's pretty cool just to see how from the returners to the new guys from all over the country that we all just hang out outside the field. And I think that's a true reason why that you have so many new guys in the clubhouse and have be so much more successful than I think people expect us to be.
Yeah, and I think that's huge because like I don't think a lot of people understand like the grind of a college baseball season, right? You have to get through every single game. It's not like you play one week in football and then like one day and then you go on to the next week, but it's like you got a 3 game series, you got midweeks, everything's happening kind of all rapid fire. So it's cool to see you all kind of get that a relationship developed quick. Um, when you had that adversity kind of at the beginning of the year, how did the team respond? I know we kind of talked a little bit about this, but I know you talked about the coaching staff saying really positive, but were there things that each player kind of did to really help keep the team moving in the right direction?
I think that it truly showed how much it's important for these young guys to really take and fill in the roles that we need them to, because we have such a great rookie class here. These freshmen are unbelievable, and I think guys like Jake Ogden, who's a junior and playing shortstop for us, kind of lead that way for them to understand. Okay, that's how you want to go out there and be a ball player. Like when you have that kind of example set, those rookies were able just to kind of understand that, fill those roles, and I think as they've developed into college baseball players this year, and knowing just as you said, like college baseball grind, you don't understand what it is until you're in it. These guys had never experienced before this year, and I think it took us about 20, 30 games into the year for them to realize, okay, this is how it's going to be. It's a different level of baseball. But I think some of the guys like Jake Ogden and Brian Walters and Nick Robert, who are some of our pitchers, also kind of set that precedent of how to be a true grinder, a competitor, a leader, and the rookies kind of took and follow in their footsteps. And I think that was the coolest thing to see. And that's what we made a big jump in the years. We moved 2 freshmen into our starting rotation on the weekend, and we started winning a lot of games. And it wasn't because their talent was better than the older guys; it's because we needed that kind of young spark and the older guys to carry from the bullpen. And those young guys did it because they kind of follow in the footsteps of other leaders like Brian Walters and guys like that, just to be able to understand how to handle this as a real college baseball player. And these older guys, I think, did a really good job of handling the young guys.
Yeah, no, I think that's an awesome point to make too, because often I think a lot of people in the media and fans, they see the early season struggles, right? But they don't realize, like, especially in baseball, you're finding trying to figure out who can play what role. Especially when you have like a team full of a ton of talent, you got to figure out like who's going to be the Friday guy, who's going to be the Saturday guy, who's going to be the Sunday, like who's going to be those key cogs out of the bullpen. And it seems like you talked about that shift has really kind of helped you all kind of turn the page on the early season and really get developed into pushing forward onto having a winning season.
100%. I think that moving guys like Brian Walters back into our closing role, and then he has 7 saves in like 16 days or something
Yeah.
crazy when we do that. It was an unbelievable move for us. He was throwing great as a starter, to be honest. The stats didn't show how good of his starts were, as we didn't put the behind the great defense some games, or other times he got unlucky. But I think that move to the bullpen just gave everybody confidence, like we can go into a game with 1, 2 run lead, and we know that we have a guy who's going to go in for two innings, 1 inning, whatever we need him to do. He's going to shut the game down. We're going to win the game. So that kind of confidence, I think, helped us make that turn. And then on top of that, the hitters just, as I was mentioning, Jake Ogden, we put him, I feel like, every position in the infield at one point, and we finally just figuring out what lineup is the best lineup for us, and just kind of figuring that all out has been huge for us. Just to have a guy like that who's so versatile and doing so well for us kind of gives everybody else more confidence. Like, okay, this guy is one of our best hitters, and he's willing to do anything it takes to be the best Miami Hurricanes we can be. And I think that kind of shows the younger guys and the older guys even who've been here that the team is selfless. We're gonna go out there and be gritty. And I think because all these guys are moving roles, I think that kind of shows that grittiness and that selflessness.
No, I love that. Last question before we kind of go into some of the fun ones. I know you all have an upcoming series here with Notre Dame. Then you go into the ACC tournament. I think on our last podcast, we said this Notre Dame Miami series is probably the one to watch, like kind of the most exciting. Two teams that are just kind of red hot in the ACC. What are you all doing kind of both mentally and physically to help get prepared for those and like the ACC tournament grind?
I think the exciting part is now that we've seen the success and we've seen weekends where we sweep teams that come in here. It's kind of exciting to know that we don't have to do anything special. If we just play our game, we're going to be completely fine. I think even this weekend against Virginia, where we fell short, there was a lot of times where we could have just rolled over and died, and we put up really good fights late in games, and we lost some heartbreakers. But I think that just shows that we don't need to change the kind of baseball we're playing. And if we just stay to what we've been true to the whole year, it's going to be pretty awesome just to get to play the other team that's red hot like that and come down in here and have a good dogfight, because it's just so exciting to be in that late playoff push now. And I know a lot of guys on our team, like me, I've never played in a regional before. So just the idea of getting the opportunity has been amazing. That's why you come to Miami. So all of us were just so excited to be closing near to that postseason and get to use this strong push at the end of the year to solidify our chances at that. And just been a blast to be a part of it all.
No, I love that. That's awesome. Want to drive into some more fun questions here,
All
kind of
right.
get to know who you are outside of the field. So the first question is, what are some of the passions away from baseball? Like, how do you help get your mind off of the performances on the field?
I love watching sports, so I'll watch any sport almost on TV. I don't even love hockey, but I was mentioning earlier, like some of the guys in the team love watching the Panthers, so I'll go watch the Panthers with them. So that's really when I come back here. I'll throw on any sport and watch it and hang out with the guys. And I think that's just one of the most fun thing to do is just to hang out and watch other people compete, because you know how hard it is now as an athlete, especially in college, and it's fun to watch other guys get out there and do that, especially at the high level. So that's one of my favorite things to do.
I love it. Do you have a favorite sport outside of baseball?
I love watching college football, so football is for sure my number one.
I love it. What's the go-to food spot for you on either on campus, just or in the Miami region?
Hmm. On campus is Panda Express. My teammates make fun of me. I go there so often, but uh,
That's
there's
a
so many
wild
good
choice.
places. We have this little Cuban coffee place and sandwich place called the Munch next to the field, and I think they probably have 40 of us in there every single day getting coffee and sandwiches. So I would be lying to you if I didn't say I was in there probably every day getting a coffee and a sandwich. That's probably my favorite place to go.
I love it. What's a go-to order there?
I go in there for breakfast, get a bacon, egg, and cheese, a little chipotle mayo, and then I get an iced coffee, a little culotta. I mean, it's unbelievable. The coffee they make here is better than anywhere I've ever had.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
kind of
sure.
spoiled now. I know whenever I leave here, I'm gonna be like, this coffee sucks compared to what I was used to drinking. So it definitely has changed my life with the coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I live in Maryland, and there's like good coffee in certain places, but like you go down to Miami or you go to places that like they're known for coffee, like you just don't want to go back.
It's unbelievable. Yes, when we go on the road, it's the worst because we all are like, man, we don't have any coffee to get.
You probably also don't like when you're on the road too, like access to coffee shops probably isn't easy.
Very minimal. Yes, very
Yeah.
minimal.
So if you could face one big leaguer, who would it be?
I mean, you gotta say Aaron Judge. He's the best
Yeah.
player right now. So I would just love to face him. Get to see what would happen. I growing up, I was an Angels fan, so Mike Trout would also be one that I would love to face, just because he's an instant Hall of Famer, and just getting that opportunity to be just one of a lifetime. So hopefully, I'll get a chance to do that. I know those guys will be in the league for a little bit longer, so if I can make it there, I'll get the opportunity to do it.
I love that. The answer we always get, like no matter whether we ask a hitter or a pitcher, is Shohei Ohtani. So it's nice to hear answers outside of that.
Shohei Ohtani scares me. I think he probably take me
Yeah.
yards, so I was gonna stay away from
Avoid that
him.
one. This next question. So this doesn't have to be the best of all time, but build your Mount Rushmore of right-handed pitchers. So it doesn't. It can be like guys you just look up to and guys you love watching pitch. Doesn't have to be like your top four best favorite pitchers of all time.
All right. If we're gonna go Mount Rushmore, I mean top four all time, I'll probably throw Bob Gibson in there.
Okay,
He
love
was
it.
unbelievable. Uh, I'll throw Paul Skeens because of the new age. He's also unbelievable, and he's fun to watch. Uh, Justin Verlander, he's just an absolute workhorse, and then probably Nolan Ryan.
I love it. That's a great mix. That's probably one of the best mixes we had. Love
I
it.
I try to tell myself I'm pretty good at baseball history, so I appreciate all the different eras. But it's hard not to put Paul Skeens in there, even though I know he's second year in the league, but he's just so exciting to watch.
Well, you got a good mix of like the old era, the middle tier, and then now the new age too.
That's what I was trying to go for, just
Yeah.
kind of be respectful to everybody. But I just it's hard to pick four guys, right-handed pitchers. Man, there's just so many great ones. I know definitely forgot somebody out there, and somebody's gonna be like, "Oh my goodness!" When my buddy's gonna text me like, "You don't think Pedro's in your Mount Rushmore?" I'm gonna feel like an idiot. So
I clipped that once and put it on Twitter, and I regretted it because like no one realized. Like I asked him like, who's your favorite pitchers? Like who do you look up to? Not necessarily like the top four pitchers of all
yes,
time. And they're like, how can you put X on the list? And I'm like, whoa, that's not the question.
people on Twitter, that's the big thing about Miami fans is they love Miami Hurricanes, and sometimes you're playing bad, they hate the Miami Hurricanes because they love them
Yeah,
so much. So we're used to that down here in Coral Gables for sure.
I love it. The last question I'm going to ask is, what is the go-to or what is your walkout song this year?
Uh, Pump It Louder by Tiesto and the Black Eyed Peas.
I
Just
love
something
that.
to get the dugout going. We got so many antics before the game with our mascot and stuff that you don't hear very long, but I definitely does get the dugout excited. So that's why it's fun.
I love it. Do you keep that song all year, or are you someone who changes it?
I'm not opposed to changing it, but it's been working, so I
Yeah.
haven't wanted to touch it. I feel like that's bad juju.
I had a guy I used to work like baseball ops for the University of Nevada, Reno, and we had a guy that changed his walk-up song like every time we had a bad game. And I was like, man, we can't keep doing this every single time.
Yeah, we definitely had some hitters who went in some slumps and switched their songs up, which
Yeah.
I don't blame them. I did that when I was a hitter back freshman year, so
It could
I
be hard if you're
understand.
hearing the same song and every year, like I'm over like 19.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. Griff, we can't thank you enough for taking time to join us on the clock. We're wishing you and the Hurricanes nothing but success for the rest of the year. Going to be following along. Excited to this series against Notre Dame. We're excited for the ACC tournament to see what you all can do. Just really appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man.
Awesome.